Hi peeps! Today we're going to look at doing some restoration on some push bikes. Now, you might think, when you get an old rusty bike, what are you going to use to fix it? Well, today we're going to use Coke. Hey, what do you think? What do you mean Coke? Well, cola, not the stuff that you put up your nose. But anyway, what we're going to do is show you what you can do. Now, I've got a bike I did about 2 years ago. No photos, but basically it will show you what we can do and how it can look after you've sprinkled a bit of the stuff you put in your body. It's got to be a bit tricky and a bit weird. So here's a bike we did about 2 years ago, and this bike was a very old rusty bike, and areas such as that were more rust prone, like your crank and that, were full of rust. The chain was full of rust. The guards were full of rust, but what we did with those was we sanded those down and repainted them. But the brakes were full of rust, and the head stem and handlebars were all rusty and pitted. And you might think, well, how did you fix it all? Well, let me tell you. Oh, so this is a bike I purchased for $12.50. I know, it's not much. And as you can see, it's rusty. Pretty soon I'm going to try to put some oil or something on the chain to free it up. And it's stiff. It looks like it's buggered. So what we're going to do is take that chain off and put it in some cola. Thank you. Right. So the first thing we're going to do is use the chain tool, which is this is the chain tool that we're using here, to take the link out of the chain. Now we sprayed this out of the chain with some CRC. Now we didn't spray it to fix it, we just sprayed it so we can actually move it and take it off. Alright? Now what we're going to do is take the chain off the bike and then put it in some cola. Alright, so there's a chain taken off the bike, and as you can see, it's not very flexible. It's very rusty. Now we've sprayed some CRC to loosen that up, but that ain't gonna do the trick. So what we're gonna have to do is put it in some cola and sit it overnight, and that will hopefully free the bike up. And that's it. So here we go. Generic Coke brand, cola, doesn't matter what it is. And what we do is pour the cola into a bucket or any container you don't really care about. So, and there's the chain, as you can see, very stiff, very rusty. We'll try to lube it, didn't work. And we'll just place it into the cola and submerge it and let it sit there. And we'll have a look what's gonna happen tomorrow when we wake up. Thanks for watching. Hey peeps, alright, we're going back to our bucket of cola, and doesn't look nice, does it? There's a lot of sediment there, looks like rust. We've got our gloves on. Let's have a look at this run. Oh yeah, have a look at that, eh? It's eaten a lot of the rust away, and look, the chain is moving, which is much more than what it did beforehand. So we've definitely loosened it up. And I reckon it's going to be alright to be used again on a bike. So there you go, 75 cents, and we saved ourselves $26 on purchasing a new bike chain. Yeah, I know it's a little bit tight, but hey. Alright, now that all the rust is basically softened up and come off, we'll use some steel wool. Just use your one you buy at the store, and just give it a good clean up. And as you can see, that's coming up beautifully. Alright, what we'll do now is spray some rust inhibitor, which is your usual W40 CRC. This will just stop it from rusting. It will also neutralise, hopefully, all the acids that are... Oops, sorry Tom. And there we go. One usable, completely flexible chain. So thanks for watching, peeps, and stay tuned for more shenanigans from me.